Looked like to me there wasn't hardly any seats available at all. Crowd was loud. Great atmosphere, great football game. I'm glad we were able to finish it. Defense played well, really, really well. Forced them into some tough situations. We're able to capitalize. When they threw us the ball, we caught it on the defensive side. Obviously made plays. We were down a few players, had some guys that we weren't playing. Other guys had to step up and make plays. It's a simple game, right? Rush for over 4 yards per carry. Don't turn the ball over. Two things in this game. We won the turnovers, which is important, and we won the hidden yards against them. Very seldom do they ever lose the hidden yards, which is return yards and penalties. So overall, we were plus something in the hidden yards, and we were good against them on fourth down. They're normally really, really, really good on fourth downs, and we were good against fourth down. So good game. Very proud. I told the players that I was proud of them. They practiced our ass off for 2 weeks. Coaches had really, really good game plans. And there's times I've told you that our game plans weren't very good. Really, really good game plans. It worked. The players bought in, played their butt off, played with a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. So now we just got to enjoy this one and get ready. Next team we play is a good football team. Move forward.
Mike, with respect to the game plans you talked about, it seemed like, as far as from an uneducated reporter, it looked like you had a lot of new stuff offensively. Not just trick plays, but just some more traditional looking plays as well.
Yeah, we had some different stuff. We had an open week, and I told you guys a few weeks ago that I thought we settled into what our run game was going to be. That was prior to Iowa State. I thought we were better. We've settled in with some of it, a few things that are different. You are pretty educated in that area. That's true. Not special plays, just base stuff. And so we kind of settled into who we are and playing a little bit better. We're covering guys up and rushing the ball, and our backs are running hard. So, 40 by 4 is 1.6, so 4.2 yards a carry. Gives you a chance to then throw some passes, be somewhat balanced.
How important was it to run the ball against a team that defends the run as well as these guys do?
Yeah, you just almost have to. Like, when I've talked to you guys, I tell you, if you can't stay somewhat balanced and rush the ball, you become one-dimensional. And we're not good enough to be one-dimensional. We don't have that skill set right now. That's not who we are. We have to stay balanced. And honestly, they're the same way, in my opinion. I don't coach them from a distance. They're a much, much better offense when they're balanced. Most of us are. And the ability to rush the ball and keep balance in our system allows us to have success. We had to kick 5 field goals. What we have to do is figure out a way to quit kicking field goals. We've got to punch in down there, come up with some concepts to give us a better chance. Kicking 5 field goals, you would think you're probably lucky to win. But it worked out. Defense made 2 big stops at the end there for us, but we've got to be able to punch that in and convert. Long-term success kicking field goals like that's not good.
With regard to the throw game, Mike, what did you do to help Bowman get the ball downfield? He had a couple of 45-yarders tonight.
We rushed the ball.
It really does come down to that.
Yeah, it does. And you, like if you were to DVR it and go back and watch the game, once we rushed the ball decent in the first quarter, you'll see their safeties come running down into the box. And that gives you a chance to get, whether it's zone or man, when safeties are out of the picture, or if one safety's out of the picture, you're playing essentially man on man, even if it's a zone coverage. And we've played quite a few games over the last 6 or 8 games dating back to last year. We didn't have that. They weren't coming down because we weren't rushing the ball, so they have everybody playing back, and it's just hard to throw passes.
That being said, did the extra week help you guys get more comfortable with Allen, now that he's sort of entrenched at that spot, the quarterback?
I think the extra week helped us get more comfortable with who we think we can be on both sides of the ball. I thought our defense played excellent and settled into some things that we think that fits our personnel, and then the same thing on offense. The extra week helped us more in that than anything else, in my opinion, just getting more reps on kind of who we are.
They threw at Cam Epps a couple of times. I'm guessing based on what they saw at film from Iowa State. Just kind of what did you think of Cam's game? Obviously getting the 2 interceptions.
Well, Cam has got he's got a chance. He's long, rangy, very intelligent. He's very athletic. He's got good hands. He's raw now. I mean, you understand he hasn't played very much, and Lyric Rawls is not with us, and I mean, one of our concerns was the young guys that were we played a lot of young guys in secondary, right? Played 11, played 3, played 7. The only experienced guys we had, 8 was out there, was 2 and 9. But Cam made plays, right? He had 2 picks. So we're excited about his future. Somebody brought it up last week, but he's kind of Trey Fowler's looking ish. I mean, now that you bring that up, so I'm excited about him.
In 2018, you guys had those big wins against Texas and West Virginia, both in that game in Stillwater when nobody thought you guys had a chance. What is it about the night crowd in those big Big 12 games that you think allows you guys to have success?
I think we just played better, right? We didn't turn the ball over. We won the hidden yards. We gave up really one big play. We got out-leveraged on the quarterback wing run in the boundary. And then they caught us they had a nice call on 3rd and long. They caught us in a pass defense and ran a power read. But other than that, we really played solid on defense. So we didn't make a lot of mistakes. We didn't give up the big throw, right? The last 4 games, we're giving up the throws that are killing us for touchdowns, and we didn't give that up tonight. And then we were able to put pressure on him in the end of the 3rd and the 4th quarter. We moved him around some, and I don't think he was comfortable in the pocket, which allowed us to intercept the ball and then forced him into some errant throws for what he's done this year, because he's been really, really good.
Coming into today, you were 9 touchdowns in 11 red zone trips. Are you able to diagnose, without watching film, maybe what was different today with kicking on the field goals?
I think when we got inside the 12-yard line, they whipped us up front. Now, they had an extra guy in the box. They were playing man, and we attacked them and hit them on it a couple times. But the other times, when you're talking specifically in the run, I think we got whipped up front. I'll have to look and see, but I think that's correct.
You've talked a lot about Nick Martin throughout this season and his growth and stuff, but his 18 tackles tonight, his interception to steal, it's just what did you see from him that was maybe different, or just what does he keep excelling at?
Well, Nick's got a great future for 2 reasons. One, he's tough. He's old school tough. And 2, he loves football. Those are 2 things that are hard to find nowadays in recruiting. Young men that love football. They don't care about the sideshow. They don't care about social media. They don't care about whatever else kids nowadays care about. TikTok or Tic-Tac, whatever that is. He loves football and he's tough. That's why he's a good football player.
It was like a Malcolm performance.
Careful, but you're in the ballpark. 17 tackles against the team that won the Big 12 conference last year. It's a pretty good day.
What do you think of the offensive line in terms of both pass protection and run blocking?
We were good. He asked a question about the red zone. I think in there we got whipped, but everywhere else we were very effective against him. And we covered guys up. I don't know if we gave up a sack, right? We didn't get sacked. So there's a good example. I mean, we avoided negative yardage plays. I know we got hit behind the line a couple times, but we didn't have the 7-yard loss or the 11-yard loss or the sacks. So we stayed on top of the chains for the most part, covered guys up for the most part in the running game. We need to do a better job concept-wise inside the 12 to allow our linemen to give them a fighting chance. I'm going to have to look to see whether we're outnumbered with concepts or we just got whipped down close. Now, the nose guard they have is a load. He's a good player. He's an issue. I told you he was going to be an issue in the press conference last week.
It looked like Brennan got the ball in a lot of creative kind of ways today. Were you happy with how you utilized Brennan Preston?
Well, I mentioned that to you guys also. Somebody brought it up, and I said we got to find ways to get him the ball. It's not always easy because he's a perimeter player, but there is ways that we can do it. And we had chances to do that with him tonight, and we have to continue to do that. Because when he has the ball in his hand, it's usually, something good usually happens.
And with Stribling in the cast today, how important does that make Brendan's role going forward?
Well, it's, the other guy's got to step up. Stribling's done for the year. That was a tough break for us. Found out a couple days ago. But the other guys have to step up and play. So 10's got to make plays. 2's going to have to start making plays. 5, 80, 8. Those guys are going to have to start making plays.
You mentioned 10. Rashad stepped in there for Stribling. What? He's been a guy you've bounced around different positions and stuff. What made you go with him this week? And what you think of him?
He's experienced. 2's coming on. Just doesn't quite have the experience he does. But he's coming on. But 10 has played at every position. He's very intelligent, so he can play multiple spots. And he's played in big games. He's been in big games, He had catches in the Fiesta Bowl. And so it's just different when you have experience in big games. It's easier to transition in and make plays.
What makes him so versatile for that?
He's smart. He knows his body allows him to do a couple different things size-wise, but he's just smart. He can learn multiple positions.
Several times this season, you talked about being outcoached, whether in a win or a loss. You give praise to the opposing coaches. Earlier, you just said that y'all had a really good game plan. Coaches worked hard. What about this week or these 2 weeks? Was there a shift, or was there putting more emphasis on this week's game, or why do you think that y'all outcoached them perhaps?
Well, I didn't say we outcoached them. I told the team the same thing. I have a ton of respect for Kansas State, coach, and their staff, period. They do a great job. And I told the team that 2 Sundays ago, or Monday, whatever day we met. I don't remember what day it was. That you're playing a very, very, very well-coached team. You're playing last year's Big 12 champs that whipped your ass. So we have 2 choices. We can practice hard for 2 weeks and go play with a lot of energy and go fight and see what happens, or we can sit around and pout because we lost a couple games. Either way, we're still going to be playing next Friday, 2 Fridays from now at 6:30. And the coaches did a good job with their concepts and schemes. And then they were able to get results. You remember what I said in the press conference the other day? Saturdays, Friday night, whether you like it or not as a coach, they're showing you how well you coached. It's a hard thing for a coach to swallow. The way your position plays is an example of how well you coach during the week. It's the way it is. So if they didn't play well, then you got 2 problems. You got one of 2. Either you got too much going on and they couldn't function, or you didn't get it coached to them. One or the other. Because they're only going to give you the results from what you did as a football coach during that time. And I told you in the press conference that our guys practiced their butt off. They all last week and this week. We practiced hard. They made that decision. The players did. We can't do it for them. But I just told them to enjoy it, be very careful tonight, and then understand this is over. We got to start back Monday. Big wins or losses that everybody's sad and upset, we got to go back to work on Monday. And so hopefully they'll be able to refocus, because the next team we're playing is a good team and a much different concept.
When y'all go up 10-0 early, you get a couple stops on defense, the offense is clicking, has that long opening drive, y'all are up early. As a head coach, are you kind of being like, it's still a close game, it's still early, or are you relying more on position coaches or relying on players to just kind of keep everybody level-headed and realize that there's still 3 quarters to go?
So there's a lot of things that go through. I don't know about other head coaches. I only know about me. There's a lot of things that go through my mind, believe it or not, that as the game goes on that I have to try to take into account and decide what to do next. Because we have fakes in. We had 2 fakes in punts. We only used one of them, but we had 2. Because if we get in a position that time becomes an issue, we might have to use another one. So those things start. But then when the game's going and we're able to convert 3rd downs and use some of the clock, stop them, and then score and get the crowd in the game and get the momentum going, then it allows you to fake a punt, which is a huge momentum swing, gets the crowd back in it, gets players back in it. Then if any of the players have doubts whether we can win, they start thinking, we can win this game. Now, they'll never admit it, but you don't know which ones think that way. They're all human, right? We're human. That's what we do. So when things start to go that direction, then I got to let it go. I just got to let the game go, in my opinion. I don't want to stop anything, slow anything down. I just got to let the thing roll.
Last couple questions.
Mike, that was the first time you guys scored on your opening drive all season. Just, from a broad perspective, looking forward on that early stage of the game, how important is it to score first and score a touchdown rather than a field
Well,
goal?
in this particular game, it was real important just because of what I said. So even though they practice good, you don't know which young men have a doubt of, okay, we can win this game. But when things go well early and the coaches do a good job and everything's orchestrated and you score, you get a stop and you score, now you might get those players to think, hey, this is going to be fine. Now, we won a bunch of football games around here for a lot of years, but if young players listen to outside noise, it can affect them, whether we like it or not. And I can't build them a shell, and put them in a shell. They go to campus, they're on their phones and all that stuff. So you always are concerned about it. That's why coaches have to do a good job getting them to believe in the concepts, but not do too much.
Last question.
What exactly happened to Stribling to make him out for the year?
What happened to who?
To Stribling?
He's got a hand deal. Yeah, he's got a hand that's not gonna work for a few months. Good? Okay, guys, thanks.